Hi everybody, I'm Coach Vanessa Antonio. I'm a science of dating coach and matchmaker.
We want to tackle the difference between falling in love and, of course, staying in love.
Nahirapan ako i-differentiate yung fall in love saka stay in love. Di ba parang pareho lang?
You go through 3 stages. You attract, you keep interest, and you maintain.
I believe before my current boyfriend, I was a little bit of a serial dater.
When you sleep with a man too soon, it stops the falling in love period. Kasi for a man to fall in love, you build memories muna outside of the bedroom.
One of the things that I really want to reiterate is, di ba, todo ligaw, ganyan.
Yes.
Galing manligaw.
Best foot forward.
Love bombing.
Tapos, when you're together na, all the effort stops.
Yeah.
Kasi kami na eh.
Nabudol.
Hello everyone! Hello sa mga ka-VOP natin. Welcome to another episode of POV. Today is gonna be such an interesting episode because we have a guest and I'm sure this is something that everybody can relate with. So hi, my name is Aryn.
I'm Atty. Anselmo.
Hello, my name is Inka.
And we would like to include our wonderful guest who is an expert in all things dating. Let's welcome Coach V. Hello, Coach V.
Hi everybody, I'm Coach Vanessa Antonio. I'm a science of dating coach and matchmaker. Thank you for having
love
me.
that.
That's so cool.
Yes. Can I ask how is there awareness for a job like that? Diba? I've never heard of that
Dating
kind of
coach.
job. Yes.
That's true, and I'm not surprised in the Philippines because it's a very new concept that we brought. So 11 years ago, we just wanted to have a singles event, a singles gathering. And
That's how it started.
That's how it started. And then after 3 years, we've seen marriages. And so I said, well, we can actually do this professionally because we're helping Filipinos find families and build their families. And then I found an opportunity to do a US certification in New York. So there's a matchmaking school pala for putting people together. And so I took that and then I returned to our country and the rest is history. We are now the first US certified matchmaking and dating company in the Philippines.
Amazing.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. So you think, diba, parang it's just dating apps and stuff like that. Di pa pala. There's like dating apps are just like you just go in there and it's the Wild West. So I hear. So I hear.
Oh, yes. Oh, you never went through it?
No.
Oh, it is a jungle.
Yes.
Nag-dating app
It's
ka.
quite an
Oh,
experience.
yes. You did
Dating up
it?
din ako for a time.
Oh, wow.
I did not. The introvert in me cannot shake the fear that this person I meet online will stuff me in a bag. And I will never hear from again.
Valid concern.
Yeah. And imagine there's a science to it.
There's a science to it. It's basically just building your social skills. Because you were so good, like as a host, you've put in the hours, but that's why you're so skilled at your job. We were not born with dating skills.
That's
you need
so
to
true.
build
Really?
it,
Ah,
like
okay.
people skills.
Oh.
Yeah, you can study it, you can practice it. That's why we have the singles event stuff. It's like practicing your social skills para in real life when you start dating, it feels normal. Hindi ka na nanginginig, hindi ka na takot, and you know what to say.
What do you mean? Like your clients, you teach them things?
So we do 3 things. Singles event for people who wants to meet singles, so network. Second is coaching. So we teach them the skills if they want to level up their social skills. And then the third is matchmaking. These are for the people who doesn't want to be on dating apps, who doesn't want to go out on bars. Like, I'm busy with my business. Just find me dates, arrange the date, do the legwork, and I just want to show up and get to know the person.
That
Blind
is
dating.
so convenient.
It's
Honestly,
so convenient.
Yeah.
if I knew about that in my 20s, siguro
Sign you up.
siguro I would have opted for that instead of pupunta pa sa bars, tingin-tingin. Ito na yun. Ito na po, these 5 people.
Disappointed
Yes.
in
And
the
you-
selection.
Correct. And you don't even know if your values align with them.
Yes.
Diba? It takes
Yes.
so much time, so many dates before you even figure out the basics. So we do investigate the basics na, and then we tell them, well, he has kids, she has like this number of, history. So you just sit down. It's all about saving time. It's like outsourcing.
Yes.
Basically,
Yes.
outsourcing.
Yung mina-matchmake natin, yung coaches, yung clients, more on guys or 50-50 girls
Yeah,
and
so
guys?
for singles events, mas marami yung girls na gusto sumali. For coaching, mas marami yung guys. For matchmaking, mas marami din yung guys. But these are the men who really wants to find like a wife and somebody that aligns with their goals.
Serious
Serious.
sila. Okay.
Kasi sabi ko naman sa kanila, if you're not serious, just go to dating apps. It's cheaper.
That's true.
And you don't have to pay any money.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of your time. So,
Yeah.
Yun lang din.
yeah, it does lang.
You have to sift. You have to sift through
Tsaka yung
some.
sabi niya kanina na you just have this fear na baka pwede kang ipasok sa bag mo. Although the dating apps naman ngayon, yung iba, it's really good na kasi maraming mga safety measures na sila.
Yeah, I hear that there are like, you have to be verified and things like that.
may
So,
ganun.
totoong account mo talaga yan. You can't pretend.
Yes.
The catfishing, what do you call that? It's like a catfish filter, I guess,
Yeah.
where it
Yes.
prevents people from making a mistake with someone.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
But
I'm
like
sure-
I said, I did sinaunang Tinder, ladies and gentlemen.
Oo nga, you've mentioned.
I joined Tinder in 2012 or 2011 and there
Holy
was
moly.
hardly anybody there.
That's more than a decade.
Yeah, 12
I
years
know.
ago.
Sinaunang Tinder. Right. So very
That's
interesting to hear that. Thank God there are safety measures now. Now that I'm thinking about it, parang what?
There is now.
Ako dati,
You were just raw dogging
talagang
your
like,
life.
Grabe naman raw dog.
Raw dogging it. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, like, yeah,
I
sure.
don't know anything about this person, 27. Sure.
I'm gonna tell you where I am right now.
Diba?
When you said na grabe ang tanga ko dati, what made you say that?
No, because they're implementing safety measures recently only.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
give tips to the members
Yeah.
and para to lessen the likelihood of you being scammed
Yeah.
or catfished.
I was careless about that. Like, I didn't care. I'm like, oh, let's meet in the mall. Like,
Let's just go for it.
yeah, like, I mean, of
up.
course, I would do the
Wala nang
basics.
background.
It has to be in a busy place with a
Yes,
lot of
okay.
people, the basics. But I didn't know anything. And I would go by myself, So, yeah. So, that was a decade
So
ago.
interesting.
Brave woman.
Yes,
Yes.
Really.
yes.
No, the reason why we're talking about this today, because we want to tackle the difference between falling in love
Yeah.
and, of course, staying in love. Because falling in love is the easy part, right?
Absolutely.
It's the fun part. It's the part where you get to know each other. It's exciting. They're like fireworks and everything. And this person is like, they seem perfect, but that's because you haven't gotten to know them yet.
Yeah.
Right? So we called on the experts,
Yes.
the beginnings of falling in love. So take us through the process of how you do these things.
Right. So basically, the science behind falling in love and staying in love, like we would describe it as falling in love is like chemically induced. It's very attraction. It's how you feel.
Okay.
Is how your mind choose a partner.
Okay.
Na, do they have good genetics? Do they have sense of humor? You're all that. Ano. When you talk about staying in love, naman, that's where you hear the old ones say like that's work. So we call it effort induced. Falling in love is like chemically induced. Falling in love is chemically induced. Staying in love is effort induced.
Okay.
Because
Effort induced.
the excitement part is like over for the staying in love, right? So that's where you become more intentional.
Okay.
And there are like things that you can do to stay in love. But for falling in love, sometimes you just literally fall into it. You don't consciously choose it. And they say that's like the best types of like romance. Kapag hindi mo pinilit yung sarili mo na ma-in love sa isang tao, it just happened. Yeah. So yeah, so for falling in love, like for example, before we talk about the chemicals behind it, like would you say that the three of you have fell in love already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
What was the earliest age that you guys fell in love?
That's a good question.
Wow.
Ito, sa lahat ba ng naging boyfriend mo? Lahat ba nung naging in love ka?
Hindi.
Ako din.
You didn't fall in love with your boyfriends?
Ngayon boyfriend. Ano mo?
Sabi mo ako din eh.
Ay, oo nga. Mali.
Sabi niya,
Girlfriend.
diba?
Girlfriends.
Dapat nililinaw.
Dapat nililinaw. Alright.
Pero we're welcome naman, whether both, it doesn't matter. It's still love.
Sa side ko, girlfriends. Okay.
Okay, now we know.
Ngayon lang. Yung una, hindi.
Yeah.
Napansin ko. How about you, Inka?
Yes.
I've only dated two guys,
And?
I've only had 2 boyfriends.
Okay.
So I've never dated around.
Okay.
And both I got into
You fell
or am in
okay.
a serious relationship.
Okay.
So my first one was my first boyfriend, 11 years. And then my person now.
Yes.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And will be 4 years in
Okay.
January.
Okay.
All right. So all of you have experienced
Yes.
falling in love, right?
Yeah.
So they say when we fall in love, it's not a rational decision because it's our subconscious now who chooses the mate for us. Would you believe that?
Interesting.
Sometimes we have this list of like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And then you'll see couples wherein kakausapin mo and then they would say, oh, he's like, he does not even fit my
Hindi ko tipo.
usual type before.
Hindi ko tipo.
Because it's very subconscious. Ibig sabihin, they say, in less than 1 second, our brain tries to decide if the person is genetically matched to us or hindi. So
Okay.
even if you have a list, your brain is already conducting a reproductive test. Like, does he have like good genetics, or is she like fertile enough? Like,
Okay.
can you reproduce? Can he carry my child? It's all like subconscious, and
Okay.
that's where attraction
That's
comes
wild.
in. It's super wild because sometimes we feel like it's all in our control, but the truth is it's our biology who decides for us at the beginning.
It's exactly that. It's
Attraction.
not something you control.
Yes,
diba?
at the beginning.
Attraction is not something you control because you can and I wanted to bring this up or like highlight it because I saw a post on Threads where this guy was like, basically, long story short, he said, yung friend ko, like, super good guy.
Okay.
He's never cheated. Ano, ganyan. Wala talaga. Tapos, may bago siyang office mate na kahit ako, crush ko siya, ganyan. And then, he said that his friend, the super good guy, was attracted to this girl. But then, he spent more time with her and got
There
to
you
know
go.
her.
There you
And then
go.
now he ended up falling in love. And he didn't mean to because he's such a good guy. He never did that before. Ganyan, ganyan. And then, parang people forget that you can become attracted to anyone.
Anyone, absolutely.
It's
anyone.
not something you can control in your head. But the
Ganun ba?
deepening of that attraction is completely under your control. Am I right?
Even sa guys?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Like I
Really?
briefly remember like how you told the story wherein you've met your boyfriend. Both of you were in a relationship. Both of you were instantly attracted to each other, but didn't act on it because you were.
We each
Being
had
faithful.
Yes,
Being
absolutely.
faithful.
We each had never messaged. Never,
Yes.
Never nangamusta.
Tama na.
Never, parang nagpapapansin, liking
Okay.
stories,
Yes.
ganyan. Nothing.
So you can be attracted to anyone and still remain faithful to your partner if you have a partner.
Yeah.
So that's amazing because now we know na parang, oh, I didn't mean naman to be attracted to that person. That's true, right? But the question is, like, did you act on it after? Then that when it can turn into a relationship.
Yes, I agree.
That's where the betrayal
Okay.
is.
Yes.
Yes.
Or if both of you are single, that's when love
Can begin.
Yes.
And I like that because I think it's also a sign of maturity, at least in my experience, where I realized you can find someone attractive and not want anything to do with them. But you're
Absolutely.
attracted to them, but I don't want anything.
Yes.
And it took me so many years to kind of differentiate that.
Oh, because you're like, I'm attracted to him. Maybe that means he has to be my boyfriend.
Ano,
Yeah.
kahit single ka? Kahit single ka?
Only when I'm single. What do you mean?
Like, halimbawa, attracted ka dun sa guy. Tapos single ka. You're not gonna act on it? Ganon?
No, what I thought before was kung crush ko yung isang tao,
Okay.
I always want something to do with them. Gusto ko siyang i-date, gusto ko
Okay.
siyang ganun.
Yeah.
But it took a while for me to realize that I can find someone attractive,
Okay.
really attractive,
And not do anything.
want anything. I don't want
Yes.
to talk to them. Wala. Attraction lang talaga.
Yes.
And it took me a long time
to realize that.
to realize
Yes,
that.
because attraction is not love. It's what you do with the attraction.
Okay.
For example, you have an initial attraction
Okay.
and then you spend time together. That's when the love begins. It's the
Okay.
memory that you spend outside of the bedroom.
The bonding.
The
Okay.
bonding outside of the bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
That actually yung sinasabi nila oxytocin. That's why yung falling in love is a mixture of dopamine, yung feel good hormones. You're so excited because this person is so new, and then oxytocin is the bonding hormones. When you keep on spending time, we're humans. We grow to love people that we spend time with. We love people who are familiar. So that's like the beginning of the dating period.
So for a healthy relationship, let's say both are single, diba? And you want to start dating, ganyan. How do you think, because there's so many, what do you call that? Therapy terms being thrown out now, diba? Because it's everywhere now that you can self-help yourself or therapize yourself and all these things. Where do these things come into play as like a real tangible factor? Like love languages.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the love languages, that's kind of like moving towards relationship na. But if you want to be an effective dater, you need to learn their love language to please them effectively. Like, I want them to feel that I love them. So I'm gonna study them. I'm gonna learn what they like. When do they feel loved? Is it through by giving gifts? Is it through touch? Is it through positive affirmations? And then when you understand that, then that's when you can make ligaw more effectively or make them fall in love faster.
May playbook din.
It's understanding the human being, which is ganun naman talaga ako nagdi-date, diba?
It sounds like manipulation, right? People probably gonna watch this like, oh my God, you're studying them to manipulate them. Definition.
Yeah, so it has a negative connotation, but actually what you're doing is just understanding their psyche, their psychology, because one of the ways that you could make a person feel loved is when they feel understood. Is that bad manipulation? No, it's a good kind of manipulation because you want to be effective as a person.
Basically, you're just parang sales pitch. You're just trying to present the best possible product.
Dating is marketing yourself.
So this is the meaning. Manipulate has multiple meanings, including to control or influence, to manage or influence someone or something. For example, she has very successfully manipulated the media. Next definition is to handle or use. To handle, manage, or use something, especially with skill, in a process of performance. Or to adapt or change. To adapt or change something such as accounts or figures to suit one's purpose or advantage. So technically, it's neutral in the same way that...
Absolutely.
Diba? In the same way that a hammer can be used to build something or to destroy something. Yes. So manipulate is the verb. To manipulate in a good way that benefits everyone. Okay, but to manipulate in a bad way, in a toxic way, that's when it becomes really bad.
That's not what you don't want to do. But like, think about your work. That's why we are so like good at what you do as a voice artist, as an improv, and also as a lawyer, is because you've put in the hours. Kumbaga, you know your stuff. You manipulate your environment, your stuff, because you know the right thing to do. Because you've studied it, you've practiced it. Yeah. It's the same thing as dating, because we were not born with the dating skills.
Yes.
Diba? So you're just learning, naintindihan ko na yung tao, ganito pala siya. So it's using that to your advantage, not to harm people,
and
but
to their advantage also.
And to their, because it makes dating like easier than, it's like, kesa sa parang hard, what's that, parang trial and error. Yes, it's so costly, and kawawa naman yung heart natin.
Correct. And I like that you have your coaching sessions. I know it's marketed in a way to date better, but really it's just self-improvement, I feel.
Absolutely right.
Right? You don't need to use it for other people. You can just use it to, I want to be more confident. I want to talk to people better.
Yeah.
So it's,
or like be a better
you're manipulating yourself
growth to be better. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
It's like working with a gym coach.
Yes.
Like, I want to manipulate my muscle to develop in the shortest time possible.
And to be stronger and stuff like that. So basically, there's a good manipulation and a bad kind of manipulation.
And when it comes to dating and love, like you use it for the positive one. Because if you just want like short time only, or yung mga toxic relationship, then you don't put an effort. I mean, like, anyone can be bad if they want to. But to be good, we have to be like intentional and try to be understanding and study.
Sabihin natin lalaki ako. Gusto ko
Sabihin natin lalaki ako.
Ay, na naman ako.
Wait, first time ko dito, so ano ba talaga?
Wait, na lalaki.
Sabihin natin.
Hindi kasi kompleto. Sabihin natin single na lalaki ako.
Okay.
Clear.
Gusto kong magkaroon ng girlfriend.
Okay.
What's the first step that I should do?
Oh, okay.
Ayun, maganda yan. So basically, you're asking what makes a man attractive to a woman.
Yes.
Right? Alright. So 3 things based on science, meron daw, magkaiba yung metrics ng babae at lalaki.
Okay.
Ibig sabihin, iba yung things that makes a woman attractive and iba din yung things. Okay. So for women, there are 3 things that they usually look for a man. Number 1 is your status is very important.
Yep.
When I say status, your ability to produce resources. Diba?
True.
Are you matalino? Are you madiskarte? Are you hardworking? What is your job? What is your current lifestyle? Okay. The second one is your leadership. How are you with, like, in terms of character? Ikaw ba yung tipong pag may dumadating na babae, do you stand up and shake hands standing up? Or do you shake hands with them like sitting down? Do you pull the chair for them? So basically, it's like that, like how you are as a man. Like how are your traits, your attitude. And the third one is, of course, women also value how you look. Self-care. Do you take care of yourself? Is your posture right? Like, how do you walk? Are you confident? So those are like the 3.
Miss V the photos of our boyfriend.
Yes. And I was like, oh, now I understand why you fell in love with this guys. Yeah. So yun yung tatlo.
What's the first thing that I should do? Sabihin natin, ka-graduate ko ng college.
Okay. So the
I'm
first
talking
thing,
to, parang ako dati.
Yes.
So, ganon.
The first
Ka-graduate ko
thing-
ng college, what should I do?
yes, the first thing that, especially for men, pagka-graduate mo lang sa college, I mean, it's tempting to date, but I would say, build yourself and your career.
You know, be patient. Tama yun.
Yes, have your career like on point, because the women naturally like gravitates to you when you have your life like put
Figured
together,
out. Yeah,
figured
tama.
out. Your passion, your calling, like you have other passion than girls. That's what makes you attractive.
Tingnan mo. See? Good advice actually. Mas maganda makinig from woman's perspective.
I love that.
So yeah.
Yeah, kasi ako ang problem ko dati. Ako kasi puro ganun din na dapat magka-girlfriend.
Oh, ayun.
Not knowing na dapat.
So tumatakbo tuloy yung mga girls, parang nahihirapan ka to chase.
Is it okay to ask you how many girlfriends or relationships you've had?
Before you found the right one?
Yes.
3. 3.
Okay.
Yeah, yun yung kasi
serious.
sorry sabihin ko lang kasi ako yung tipo na nakipag-date ako pag hindi ko type. Sorry medyo ghoster ako. Before.
Let's ask. Like,
Comment here if you have been ghosted. by Attorney Anselmo.
Sorry Okay lang.
and probably a lot of women, and that's one of the most common questions that we ask na, Coach V, bakit ba sila lang go-ghost? So maybe you could answer that for
Okay.
us.
Kasi ayaw namin ng argument at hindi kami sanay na kami
Confrontation.
magsasabi na hindi kita type. So ang mangyayari na lang parang business decision.
Hindi ka na lang paparamdam.
We out, bro. Ganon. Get the signal. Ganon na nangyayari.
Read between the lines.
Di ba? Yung mga nasa likod, di ba? Ganon yun.
God damn.
Ganon yun. So,
I would prefer.
You would prefer?
I would prefer you just be straight up about it.
Ayun nga, that's my immature self. Okay. So, ganon ang ginagawa ko before. Like, hindi ko type to.
I believe you.
Out, bro. Ganon. Next. Ganon. Kasi yun pala advice ko sa mga guys.
Sige.
Pag single kayo, sige lang, makipag-usap lang kayo sa lahat ng gusto nyong kausapin. Single lang naman problem eh.
Yeah.
Agree.
I like it, which brings up the memory of that video of Ellen Adarna where she was like, parang don't pretend if you're single, be single.
Yes, I remember that video.
Diba? Don't pretend that you're together when you're not. Parang go, date whoever you want. You're single, act like it.
Absolutely.
Parang, diba?
So, na-figure out ko lang na parang nagkaroon ng, parang mas madali nung na-build yung status talaga. Totoo yun.
That helps. And I like the example that you cited, because when we say dating basically means getting to know people. It doesn't mean that you're sleeping around. It doesn't mean that you know that you're exclusive or you're invested, that you owe them something, but it's getting to know people so that by the end of the day, when it's time to settle down, you get to choose the best mate for you.
Ayun.
I went about it differently, my boyfriend and I.
Sige.
because earlier you asked how long before we kind of really became serious. We were dating for like 7
months.
Okay.
Yes, you mentioned.
Yeah, but from the very beginning, we already told each other that, hey, I'm not seeing anyone else, ha? Oh, okay, me too. But we also acknowledged that we were just dating.
Sino na nag-message
Gotcha.
pala? Sino na
He
nag-message?
messaged me first.
Okay.
But at the time, we were both single na.
Okay.
And parang the way we started our relationship was we asked each other, parang, how are you like when you're angry?
Okay.
How do you want to be comforted when you're angry or when you're sad?
Okay.
What things make you feel better? What do you enjoy? Parang what do you find joy in doing?
Okay.
So parang from then on, we were asking each other these clear-cut questions.
Yes.
Simula pa lang serious
And you
na.
were-
What are your long-term goals?
How many kids would you like to have?
We didn't have those conversations.
Okay.
But the reason why I wanted to ask that was because what if, because we didn't know each other yet at that time. We didn't know each other very well. So paano kung he's upset about something, it wasn't my fault,
Okay.
but I think it is. Diba? So what if I freak out, ganyan, because I don't know what he's like when he's upset.
Okay.
Diba? What if when he's upset, kasi for me, when I'm upset, I want to be comforted. I want you to come to me and hug me and ano.
Iba-iba talaga.
And I find out he's not like that pala.
Yeah.
He says when he's
Like me.
upset, he wants to be left alone because he wants to, like you also,
Yeah.
because he wants to think, he wants to be in his own thoughts. In fact, if someone is there with him, it overwhelms him. Mas maiirita pa siya.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So it's a good thing I asked.
Good thing you knew.
Diba?
Yeah.
So that's me asking to manipulate. But
Make it in your favor. because
yeah,
it's just
but it's
Yeah.
not a bad manipulation because we told each other that, and we said that to each other
Okay.
with the goal of knowing how the other person is.
good intentions.
So we know
right?
how to operate, and we don't, step on each other's toes. We don't take things against each other. You know what I mean? But a clear cut. It's transparent.
How about you, Aryn?
Yeah, did you have that same conversation? Or what was it? What were you guys talking about at the beginning? I know. You know what?
Yeah.
Can you
fast
imagine
forward
meeting
yun eh.
someone and then that's the
Yes.
first
That was
conversation?
a relationship talk
Sa
already. It
IG,
wasn't a
sa IG
dating
talaga,
talk.
di ba? Sa IG. Ganun agad ang usapan sa IG.
Dating
Parang
phase.
We were
Ano?
after our third date.
Okay.
So tell us, how about
Ikaw,
you?
paano naman yung sa'yo?
Well, when my current boyfriend and I started dating, I was in a phase where I didn't really
Ayan.
care to date
Okay.
anymore. Yung medyo tanggap ko na, you know what? If I end up alone, okay
So be
lang.
it.
Basically, you gave up on dating.
Yes.
Okay,
This was
when you date.
post engagement.
Ay.
So after that,
Okay.
I was just like, you know
Okay.
what?
Yeah.
Whatever. And then this very hot
Ayan.
man goes
Okay.
into my DMs and I'm like, teka lang. I would like to experience this.
So you were thinking lang, it was fun at the beginning.
Yeah. Yes.
And it was
Okay.
definitely for sure the same for him because I mean, wala lang. I
And-
look at him and I'm just serious.
Yeah, parang
I don't know about that.
Yeah, parang
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
When did it switch? Like
Yun.
when did it become serious? What happened?
We took our time. Like Inka, we
Gano'ng
started
katagal?
dating 6 months
Okay.
before any sort of like
I love
tayong
yous.
dalawa lang. Yeah, any sort of I love yous came into play.
So how often do you go out during that time? Like was it every week, 2 times a week,
It
once
was
a month?
almost every week, and
Every
then he would
week?
call me every day.
Oh,
So
na-inlove na
for
sa'yo.
me,
They were building
Yeah.
they were building emotional attachment without them even admitting to it at the beginning, but they were building something.
So it was very interesting because both of us had fun on our minds. Pero yung actions niya, I was like,
Nag-iba.
yeah, he met my friends within the second week. He took an improv class with my school within the first month.
Sinabi lang niya
So-
fun.
Yeah.
and that happens. No, it's not the ideal route for many, but sometimes people that start with fun can fall in love with each other and turn into a relationship.
So based on her interaction with her boyfriend, sino po nai-in love normally? Babae o lalaki?
Ayan. So falling in love.
Asking the real question.
Yes. Wow. I love the questions. Huh? All right. So falling in love, the pacing is very different for men and women. And let's talk a little bit about like sex. Now, can we say that here?
Yes.
Right. Because we're adults and it happens.
Yes.
Like lagi nating naririnig na, like when men when you sleep with men too early or when you sleep with them on a first date, kinabukasan, don't expect them to be there. And we hear that from our grandparents.
Yep.
Is that true? And it's funny because there's actually a science behind it. That's why I love grandparents because they give like really good advice. Hindi lang nila na-explain yung science. So I would like to be able to share the science behind it. Okay. So when woman makes love, the oxytocin goes up. That's the bonding hormone. So when they make love with a man, after noon, they feel more closer and bonded.
Okay.
That's when they feel like, I think I'm gonna love this person, right? But for men, when they make love, the vasopressin goes down. It's also their bonding hormone. That's why yung iba, after they make love with you, nang-ghost na or nawawala na.
Okay.
So it stops them.
Hindi ako ganun. Date lang yun, date lang.
Date, walang something.
Wala. Basta kaya, hindi ako ganun, hindi ko kaya yun.
Kasi dating nga daw, getting to know each other lang. Okay. So when you sleep with a man too soon, it stops the falling in love period. Kasi for a man to fall in love, you don't sleep with them muna. You build memories muna outside of the bedroom because that's when they fall in love. Diba? Ang guys.
Correct.
Yeah. But when you go and sleep with them too soon, again, it's not for everybody because there are people who falls in love after sleeping with a person. No? It's just and then so kung gusto mo lang pataasin yung chance na ma-in love sila, gumawa muna kayo ng maraming memories out of the bedroom. And then if you feel like we really connected physically and we have built enough memories, nagtawanan na kami, nagkwentuhan na kami, we understood each other's love language na, then if you want to, bond with them physically, then it's up to you. Ang importante doon, build memory first before you sleep with them. And that increases the chance of them falling in love.
Can I share a story about that?
Okay,
Very
let's go.
interesting.
Yes.
My ex-fiancé and I, the way we got together was we knew each other before. And then we met up in New York. And then we were apart for 4 months before we got back together. In those 4 months, naging kami, but we never slept. We had no physical anything. So I didn't get to experience anything physical until after 4 months. And a lot of people, including my mom, were like, why did you do that? You don't know if you have chemistry. Ma, it's cool. Okay.
Ito online? Online.
So that's interesting.
Skype. Skype pa nito. Skype.
Yes.
So would you say that built the foundation of your relationship because they excite you not just because of the physical, but they excite you because ganun pala siya in terms of personality and how they talk to you.
Is it the same with now?
What
do you guys first?
Baliktad.
With the current one.
It's growing more because we got to know each other in the physical aspect already for the last 2 years. So now we're getting to know each other a little bit more through family.
That's how Matt and I are.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's still a process of discovery.
Nauna physical sa inyo nung current tapos saka yung emotional.
Kasi fun nga muna sila.
How about you, Inka?
Yes, in a way. Because even if we discussed it in like in a sense that sounded like we were getting into a serious relationship, parang I think we really just were taking it day by day. And we weren't looking for a serious relationship when we started. All we knew was we wanted to respect each other and we wanted to make sure that when we do this getting to know each other thing, it's not going to be toxic. We agreed, no games, no weird things. We're going to be doing this as adults.
No weird things.
All the weird things. But we wanted to make sure that we were going to do it without the bad manipulation, without the secrets. So even if it was for fun at first, like walang promise na tayo na, ganon.
No pressure pala.
It was very no pressure, which I think helped us fall into a more natural rhythm of falling in love.
Right.
Because there were no expectations. Just respect. That's what we wanted to settle like from the beginning, we're going to respect each other as people. I'm not going to treat you like some game, and you're not going to treat me as some game.
Right.
So that's how it started.
Right. And that's the beauty of like getting to know a person without pressure. I just have a quick story. There's this matchmaker that I know back in the United States. And even if she had a lot of, she was the person behind a lot of marriages, she couldn't find her the one pa.
Siya mismo yung wala.
Siya yung wala.
Okay.
And so what happened was, sabi niya, I keep on dating, but you know what? I don't want to be like others na nakikipag-date because I want to have a child. Like I want to have a daughter, but I don't want to pressure myself to find that the one kung hindi pa naman talaga season for me to find that. Yeah. So what she did was she had a self-insemination. She had her own baby, raised her on her own. And when she already had the baby, wala na siyang pressure to find that person. That's when the right person came.
There you go.
Because she wasn't already going out to find the baby daddy. She was going out already to find my partner in life. Okay. Because I already have the baby.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's kind of like similar
so
to you. It's very no
mo lalo,
pressure.
saka lang lalayo? Parang ganun?
Yeah, I do believe in whatever you chase runs away. But we have to be very careful with that because I also believe na nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. So you have to pray for it, but at the same time, be open. Do a little bit something. If you want to find somebody, then go out because it's not totoo yun. Hindi talaga sila kakatok. But be friendly. Talk to everybody, even to the attractive guys, attractive girls. Approach them and just look at them as friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then that mindset, it will help you talk to them and be more natural in your interaction with them.
Alam mo, dyan ako natatakot talaga dati.
Talk to us about that.
Kasi pag may maganda yung babae, kinakabahan talaga ako. Before.
So how did you end up asking
Someone out na
future
ako
wife,
in general, paano? Nung nabuild ko yung confidence sa sarili ko na may sinabi na rin ako. Doon.
Yun.
It's not about the girl. Kasi maganda whatever, sakto lang. Pareho lang naman na tao eh.
Yeah.
Yun ang napansin ko.
Yeah.
You can talk to them the same way. Kahit paano mo kinakausap yung mga hindi mo type. It's an inner thing. Dahil nga insecure ka.
That's true.
Lalo kung di matatype pa nung girl.
So ladies, I hope that you hear that. It's sabi niya, it's not about the babae. It's really their inner game. So for women who are waiting na parang, bakit hindi pa siya nag-propose? Ba't hindi pa siya nanliligaw? Like, sometimes it has nothing to do with you. It's just that they're still building themselves. That's why sometimes, like a person gets into a relationship for 8 years, hindi nagpakasal, hindi nagpropose. And then the next year, gets a job, gets a better promotion, gets a better pay, proposes, get married in 1 year because it's really depend on the timeline of the man, whatever is happening in their life.
Yeah.
Totoo. And personally, actually, growing up, because I was raised by a single mom, I had all my friends had this expectation na, okay, when I have a boyfriend, he has to propose to me. And I want to get engaged. Yung gustong propose yung boyfriend in the early 20s, late 20s. Okay. And I could never resonate with that. Parang for me, it never occurred in my mind to pressure someone to propose. It doesn't apply to me. So I find that very fascinating because literally all my friends are like, I'm giving him an ultimatum.
Yan yung viral ngayon, sprinkle, blah, blah. Sprinkle, blah, blah.
Right.
Yan yun. Sabi ko nga, ang guy, kung seryoso sa'yo, simula pa lang, makapag-usapan na yan.
Right.
Actually, yun yung sabi mo kanina, na kapag sa simula pa lang, malinaw na sa'yo kung gusto ka ng guy. So kapag nako-confuse ka, ibig sabihin hindi ka gusto ng guy. Yan ba yung ano?
Sa akin kasi, ganito yan. Kung sabi natin,
sige,
pilong guy na possible ka maging wife, kahit na hindi pa nagpo-propose ngayon, kahit pa paano, in the vicinity na paano tayo pag ilan ang gusto mong anak, mga ganyan ang tanong. Willing ka bang magbuntis? Natatanong na yan. Ginawa ko yan, ginawa yan ang kapatid ko. Lalaki kami pareho. Ayan na may episode na to, 2 beses ako. Okay? So sa akin, pag hindi talaga ayaw talagang pag-usapan, medyo parang sinisilihan siya.
Yes.
Medyo para sa akin.
Hindi ka niya nakikita in that dimension.
Tapos nagugulat kami, bagong girlfriend, 6 months pa lang nag-propose agad. Kasi nakita niya na ito yung gusto ko.
Tapos having all this emotional talk that he wasn't having with the previous girlfriend.
Yeah. So sometimes it's not about
the
the girl.
It's about the timeline of
It's about the timeline. Anyway.
Ganda
Very
naman
interesting.
ng insight na yan. Like, I think a lot of women wants to hear that as comfort because
Yeah.
many of them blames themselves
Yeah.
and many of them thinks na, what's wrong with me?
Yeah,
But
overthink.
it's just that mali yung timeline ng lalaki.
Yeah.
At hindi lang talaga ikaw yung para sa kanya. But it doesn't mean that you cannot find your person.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you also,
Yes.
diba? Na parang, oh my God,
There are areas for improvements for all of us.
Tama yun.
And I
naman
highly
yun.
suggest the smart people always looks at their blind spot and
Correct.
improves it. So don't think you're perfect. You are
Tama
accountable
yun.
for everything that happens in your life, including your dating life failing. So just level up, improve yourself, yung mga weaknesses mo, but at the same time, don't blame yourself if the relationship doesn't work because
Tama yun.
it's just not. It doesn't. I mean, your season has ended. They're meant for another person. You're meant for another person as well.
Yeah, I think there's also a certain amount of balance that we need to consider whether something is in or out of our hands, diba? Because like, especially when you first start dating someone, a lot of let's say you guys last for a long time, a lot of the habits that you have in your long-term part start when you are just dating diba?
Yeah.
The habits that you cultivated when you were couple na bago pa lang.
Yeah.
These are the things that you end up doing
Later on.
when you're ano na. So like for example, that thing that Matt and I started where we asked each other, how do I
How you wanna
comfort
be
you? How
comforted,
do you ganyan? It kind of carried on to it actually not kinda, it did carried on to how we are now, where we tell each other things na parang, for example, I feel very open and safe letting him know if there's something that he did that I felt like it.
Communicative kayo.
Yes. And the other way around, like he also tells me. And because we both agreed to listen and to not be defensive when someone brings up something, it makes it easier to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a problem saying sorry.
Maganda yan.
Yeah.
Yan ang isang
And
red
neither
flag for
does
me.
he.
Red flag yan.
Yeah, and neither does he. We say sorry so easily because the goal is parang number one, we trust that the other person is not going to bring up something petty.
Right.
Diba? Kasi dapat, if you're gonna bring something up with me, it should be, not just to make me feel bad, but because you want to fix
Serious.
something.
Yes.
And parang the goal is really the peace and harmony and love of the relationship,
Right.
which is what kind of started when we first started dating, when we didn't love each other yet,
Yeah.
but we respected each other. Respect talaga, no?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Especially the respect of a woman towards a man, because when a woman does not respect a man, it's impossible for her to fall in love with him.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very
Nako,
important.
kaya tatanungin, dapat ba kinakaibigan mo muna? Anyway, bago mo jowain. Pero sa respect ito ang sa akin. Alam mo, pag may temptation ng lalaki lagi. Especially kung, alam mo na, successful. And girls.
Oo, di ba? Tama.
At the end of the day, mahal mo yung tao, pero dapat may respeto ka.
Yes.
Respect, kaya mo hindi lolokohin yung other half mo.
And not just respect for your partner, it's respect
For
for
yourself. Correct.
Yeah,
Discipline.
Yeah. It's your self-respect
Yeah.
na parang, are you going to let yourself be that person? Na
Yeah.
you're committed to someone and you're going to basically kind of dirty yourself
Right.
to
Are you a barbarian? Cannot control your urges?
Yes.
So kapag kahit anong pigil mo sa other half mo, kung mambababae, manlalaki talaga.
Correct.
Manlalaki, mambababae talaga.
Yes.
Tama ba yun?
That's true. And when you feel like you're not scared anymore to lose your partner, that's when you know it's time to let that one go.
Okay.
Yeah. Kasi that's when you cheat because hindi ako takot na mawala. So I'm gonna do whatever kahit nakakasama sa
Tingnan mo.
relationship. Kasi wala ka ng takot na mawala yung person. Ibig sabihin, in your
Medyo
eyes,
shameless.
they're not special.
Yeah.
So why are you there?
Totoo.
Medyo masakit. Pero
Masakit.
yun ang
Pero,
totoo.
yeah.
Okay, going back naman to like, let's go back to kind of in the
Falling in
early
love.
stages.
Yes,
of falling
yes.
in love.
Okay.
I was wondering if, because do you know the Gottmans, John and Julie
Yes,
Gottman, right?
absolutely.
I love
Gottman
them
and
so.
Sitchuk.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love them so much. I knew you would. And they were talking about how compatibility is not really a big factor.
Yes, not very important.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, there is something more important than compatibility, because compatibility is basically like similarities of views when it comes to money, family, vices. Like, di ba? So similarities are very important because pag tinignan mo yung couples na shares more similarities, they're likely to go long term than yung opposite attract. Opposite attract kasi hot at the beginning. But then because of differences, ang dami yung areas of friction, you know. But for the Gottmans kasi, and it's amazing because they've studied love and relationships for like the longest time, more than any other research institutes. Si John and his wife, like more than 40 years of studying the science of it.
And like 70,000 couples, I think.
Yeah. So a lot of
edad na sila.
Yeah, they say that the number one way to keep your relationship is attunement or attunement.
What's that?
So it's basically, for example, John, for example, we are together, and then I hit yung siko ko, and then I say, "Ow," gaganon lang ako. So as a partner, you have 3 options to respond. You can say, "What happened?" That's one.
Okay.
Second is you go like, okay lang yan, you'll be fine.
Okay.
The third is you try to ignore it.
Okay.
Right? So the couples that lives or the couple who stays together the most, the couples with the healthiest marriages, sila yung attuned. Ibig sabihin, pag sinabi niyang ow, then you be responsive. Pag sinabi ng girl mo na, ang ganda nung bird, sasabihin mo din na, oh yeah. So you have positive comments towards that. What's dangerous is when you ignore their small, yung tinatawag nilang bids, yung small comments nila. Like for example, ang ganda ng flower, tapos you just look at them and you don't even say anything. Parang hindi mo sila na-validate. Yes. Or the worst thing is you say like, your partner says like, ang sarap neto, and then you say, yuck. Diba? Negative attune. So it's not, so it's basically, when you look at it, what they're saying is being, una-una, giving full attention to your partner and just validating their feelings, not invalidating their feelings. No?
Yeah.
So it's the effort na. It's the effort part.
Or yung mga parang, you're watching something, the girl is watching something. Babe, ang cute oh. Tapos, baduy yan.
Oo. Baduy yan.
Basically, binababa mo yung ano niya.
Binabara.
Yun, that's the word.
Binabara. Or hindi mo papansinin na feeling mo it's too petty. That's a bid. Ibig sabihin, parang it's an interpretation. Bid to connect. It's like saying na, like, notice me, I wanna connect with you. Kaya nagpapapansin ako. Parang that's the secret message behind those ganun.
And that's how you create memories together.
Yes, and that's how you know that you are with your best friend. When diba, the little things, you feel like, oh, they validate my existence. They validate my thoughts. Then you feel loved.
Yeah.
So that's one of the like greatest discoveries when it comes to relationship. That's why yung staying in love, it's really putting in the effort, because even if you are having a bad day, when your partner says like, I got a promotion, you should be able to respond correctly. Then happy feelings, let her celebrate with her, and then maybe later on talk about how you were having a bad day.
Buti ka pa, ako ganyan.
Sana all. Sana all. Yeah. Parang nainggit pa sa'yo, no?
Nainggit.
Competition. Actually, we asked a lot of our VOPs, mga kinualify ko pa mga long-term, married or mga 10 years and up na relationship.
Long-term.
What does it take, or like what did it take for you guys to stay in love? Kasi falling in love again is easy, but staying is really what takes
a different beast.
Alam mo, nahirapan akong i-differentiate actually.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Before we get into that, what do you mean?
Nahirapan akong i-differentiate yung fall in love saka stay in love. Di ba parang pareho lang? Doon ako Hindi pa siya parang...
That's cute.
In love
That's
din siya.
cute in a way. Yeah.
It's very ideal way of viewing things. And syempre, we want that the feelings, the excitement that we have in the early part of dating, sana we have that after 50 years. But the reality is, the feelings goes like this.
Yes.
That's why I personally believe that love is not a feeling, because if you just depend on feelings, sometimes there are days that you don't feel in love with a person.
Yeah.
So, what is love kung hindi siya feeling? It's
a decision.
Yes.
That's when the staying in love, effort-induced relationship happens.
Yung mga, I love you, but I don't like you right now. Yung ganon, diba?
Yes.
Kasi may days na parang
You don't like
nakakairita
them.
ka. Yung ganon, diba? Na parang, can you not? But I love you.
Yeah. I still want to be your partner, but I just don't really like you today.
Oo. Yeah.
Kasi pwede din for women, we get our period. So hormonal, we change also, di ba? Sila din, they're having a bad day.
hindi ko.
So, how do you feel about that?
Wala kaming ganun.
Wow. So honeymoon phase kayo talagang through and through.
Hindi ko mapag-differentiate eh. Pareho lang eh.
Interesting.
Kung ano dati, 8
Ganda.
years na kami.
And
Kakasal na nga kami next week.
wow. And sana magtuloy-tuloy siya even after so many years.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really
I
good.
think
You have
yeah.
something good if you have that.
Yeah.
O, tingnan
let's-
mo, I
let's
have
take-
something good. Thank you po.
Yes.
Let's take
Yes,
advice.
okay.
Since
Tignan
you
natin.
are getting married next week, let's take
Yeah.
advice from our VOPs
Okay.
who have been married, been
Yeah.
together for like a long time. Si Miss
Jega.
Jega. Miss ba to?
Mrs. na kasi
Mrs.
married
Mrs.
na eh.
Mrs.
Kahit-
Jega. Married for 13 years, being an extrovert, married to an introvert has taught us so much about balancing energy and understanding each other's needs. My love language is words of affirmation. Ayun, love languages pa.
Okay.
While my husband's is acts of service. So we've learned to express love in ways that might not come naturally but are deeply meaningful to each other. One of the keys to staying in love for us is letting go of scorekeeping. We don't
Tama.
count
Galing.
mistakes. Can I
Tama.
jump in on this love language thing? Because
Sige.
this is Matt and I. I am words of affirmation and physical touch. Matt is acts of service and gifts.
So, Inka, ano yan?
iba,
Ikaw ang
opposite.
nagbibigay ng acts of service? Paano ba? O baliktad, paano?
So my love language.
Di ba magkaiba yung receiving and giving?
Okay.
Yes.
What do you
Siya-
like to receive?
Yes.
Ako, gifts don't matter to me.
Okay.
I'm more physical touch.
Okay.
Words of affirmation.
Okay.
So I want to see if you tell me you love me.
Okay.
How?
Ay,
In what way?
Grabe, may explanation.
Ganon.
Hirap ata
Kasi
nun, ah.
me, when I
Yeah.
express my love, I'm like, you know what? I think of you when I wake up. And when I see something really nice and want to share it, makes me happy. You're the first person I think of. Yung
yeah.
ganon. Diba? So it's-
Descriptive.
yes, I'm very descriptive with my love. Matt, man of few words, is not.
Pero binabawi niya naman sa gifts.
But he is
and-
acts of service
and acts
to
of
the
service.
core.
Okay.
When we
Yes.
first started dating, we first started dating during the pandemic. ECQ.
Okay.
Like, we could not see each other minsan once a week, minsan once or
month.
twice a month,
Yeah.
minsan once a month. Ganon, depending on whatever
Okay.
lockdown is happening. And he would find a way for us to spend time together. So he
May effort.
helped me, he helped me install like this thing that would help us watch movies together through the computer.
Okay.
Through the computer. What am I, an old person? Through the laptop. And then he would also, when we were able to see each other, he would come from North EDSA, pick me up in Alabang.
And
We'll
back.
go
End to
out.
end, no?
We'll go out wherever. Makati, ganyan, wherever he's gonna take me. Or go to
Tagaytay.
Tagaytay,
Sabay pa tayo,
ganyan.
Tagaytay.
And then he'll bring me home to Alabang and then go back home to
Yeah.
North
Effort is
EDSA. So he
Okay.
makes the effort.
Okay.
He would parang, okay lang yung toll sa kanya, yung gas sa kanya. No, this is my car. You know what I mean? Like, he will buy me dinner. Parang that's how he was courting me.
expressing
Okay.
his love.
Yeah, and that's how he
Yes.
still does it now. But because we've been together almost 4 years now,
Okay.
like what Miss Jega said, parang you find attunement.
Attunement,
Okay.
yes.
So the love language thing is we express it differently. So we also learned how to express it the way the other person expresses it because that's how they
Okay.
feel loved.
That's right. That's why they say when you don't know the love language of a person, you just look at how do they give love because that's how they interpret love.
Ay.
Yeah.
Ganun ba? Okay.
So for example,
Okay.
let's say your love language is acts of service,
Okay.
kunwari, and not words of affirmation.
Okay.
If I tell you I love you, you could just be like, okay.
Okay, that's just words.
Pero you'll feel it more if I, for example, wash the dishes that you were supposed to wash, but I did it for you to
Okay.
save you some effort.
Okay.
you can rest.
That's how you feel loved.
Okay.
Parang ganon.
Absolutely.
Ano love
That's
language
right.
mo,
Yes. Yeah, how about you?
What's mine? I like all.
Isa lang, yung
And then
pinaka-favorite.
Yeah, and it could happen.
Oh, sige.
Pero yung
Okay,
iba, meron
ganun
namang
ba?
primarily
Sige.
and say, pero what's your what makes you feel super duper excited? Like what
Yeah.
makes you feel
Physical
na,
touch.
ayan,
Yeah.
mahal na mahal niya ako. That's your
Yes.
primary.
The
Physical
akbay
touch.
while walking. I'm like,
Ayan.
you feel like a baby.
Kaya dapat matangkad.
See?
Yes.
Parang makbayan, yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's your how do you express your love naman to the person?
I'm an acts of service type of
There you go.
person. And I think mine is in the standard that what I do to make myself feel good,
okay.
I can do it for you.
There
Parang
you
ganon.
go.
So
There you go.
it's very pa rin, like, I like it when I'm like this. So I'll do this for you also.
So did you see the connection between if you don't know the love language of the person, give it to them how they express it to others, because it's exactly like that. In my head, if I tell you I love you, that means I love you because it's words, right?
Okay.
So kung di mo alam yung love language nila, kung lagi silang nag-I love you sa'yo, then you also say laging I love you because that's how they interpret love. In their lens, that's how you express love.
Okay.
And what I find interesting about this is I don't set my love for a partner at a different standard than I do with my friends and family. So I actually look at the love languages also of my friends to understand. So I have this friend, for example, na never siya nagsasorry.
Ay.
As in, naiinis ako because gagawin niya to, tapos never siya magsasorry.
Paano siya-
paano siya
she'll be
bumabawi?
like, I bought you this from ganto-ganto. And to me, that
Implied.
didn't mean anything
Okay.
before. Kasi
Okay.
for me,
So she's gift giving.
she's a gift giver.
Okay.
And that's how she apologizes. So when you are able to see these patterns
Very
in
Asian
the
mom.
people, yes, diba? You see
Very
these
Asian mom.
patterns with your
Yeah.
friends and family. It's also a way to understand them. That's why for me, like dating and finding a partner and loving a partner, I also equate it to how I love my friends, because there are days when I don't want to be around my friends. Diba?
Okay.
You don't want to be around your parents and your friends 24/7. You're still going to
Yes.
want time apart, but that doesn't mean you don't love them anymore.
Okay.
So for me, it's the same standard in choosing
Agree.
a partner. Yeah.
I agree.
Isn't it beautiful, like understanding the persons, diba? You call that manipulation, you call it understanding who they are, so you become more effective. Can I briefly share and go back about yung falling in love? As a matchmaker, kasi one of the ways that we match people, like we help people find love, kaya nagkakaroon ng marriages, is we use this theory, it's called matching hypothesis, and you could look it up also. It basically states that people who have the same level of attractiveness have the higher chance of falling in love with each other. For example, you're a 10, you're at so let's say 8 kayo lahat.
Okay.
Diba? So the match that we will give you is somewhere between 7 to 9. I'm not gonna give you somebody who's a 5 because you will feel dissatisfied. I'm not gonna give you somebody who's a 10 or 10 plus because you will feel like, oh, they're too above my league. So the
Okay.
reason why we were able to put together couples is because we have that mindset that you look at their attractiveness level and give them somebody who's closer to that attractiveness level. For those who are in a relationship, I ask you right now, look at the attractiveness level of your partner because that tells you something about your level of attractiveness as well.
Pareho. Parang pareho.
Diba?
Parang tama.
There are exemptions because you see sometimes beauty queens and politicians kasi merong may compensating factor,
That's so
right?
funny
Hindi
because
kasi-
you just implied that politicians
Hindi.
I am sorry,
Hindi.
that's not true. There's so many good-looking politicians.
No, but I get it. I
Yes,
understand.
but they're compensating like factors. So ibig sabihin, hindi man sila ganun ka-attractive
Yeah.
if they are good in leadership or they have a good status, nababalance yun. Same goes for women that sometimes they are not so attractive and the man is so attractive, no, because they have compensating factors. Maybe they're so nurturing, they're so
Okay.
maasikaso, they're like mother, nature. So may exemptions,
Yeah.
but generally
Okay.
you find a partner na malapit sa attractiveness
I've
level.
heard that also about like comedians, diba, in the States.
Ano sinasabi?
So Ali Wong is this Asian American, and she said,
Yung buntes.
she said,
Nanangan-
there is a huge difference between the fans of male comedians and the fans of female comedians.
Remember that episode.
Because
Yan.
male comedians, for some reason, are able to bag like the hottest
Girls,
models
yes.
for being so funny. But the funny women get the nerds, the
Yeah.
ones na parang, oh, I'm gonna follow you home. Ganon.
So walang
bakit
incentive
ganon?
to be a female comedian. No?
Correct.
Miss Video parang kasi
Yeah,
each
yeah.
gender may kanya-kanyang preferences. Hindi ba yun ang
Yes.
sagot doon?
Absolutely. So there are personal preferences, but even if we feel like we have very unique preferences, when you look at the general population, bird's eye view. We have so many. We choose the same mate. That's why when you look at research studies for dating apps or sabi nila yung mga men daw parang 1 to 10% lang yung pinag-aagawan ng mga tao, and yung 90% walang pumipili sa dating app. So even if we feel like I have a unique taste, no, like what I value in a mate, what I look for subconsciously is the same things that my fellow women are looking for. So merong general that we share, meron namang mga unique talaga, mga quirks na hinahanap. But I say that just for us to be aware na by the end of the day, when you are a desirable, attractive person, then you are able to have more options. You become attractive to a lot of people when you develop those skills.
Yes.
Ang mga lalaki ba more on physical? Yung mga babae more on holistic? That's my question actually.
Interesting. Kanina you've asked about what makes a man attractive to a woman. Now you're asking what makes a woman attractive to a man.
That's what
right?
I'm trying to...
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to...
Okay. So biologically, ibig sabihin, make-up pa lang ng lalaki, you have at least 25% more visual neurons. So visual talaga kayo. Not because you guys are shallow or stuff. You guys are biologically made up that way. So you value beauty more than women. So women, what's important when it comes to women, to be attractive to men is of course good signs of genetic. Hindi lang ganda. Ano yung example ng good signs of genes? Okay?
Broad
Clear
shoulders.
So for not for women, for men, yes.
Okay.
Yung men kapag daw V-shape yung body, it's very attractive to women.
Correct.
For women naman, kapag Coca-Cola body,
correct,
no matter you're skinny or voluptuous, basta may shape ng Coca-Cola, that's very attractive to men.
Correct.
Because subconsciously you think, she's very fertile, good reproductive system, good genetics. So so sabi nila, we're not looking for beauty. We're looking for signs of good genes. Ano example ng good genes sa women? Clear skin, shiny hair, white teeth, white eyes, walang hepa. Tapos, with healthy weight. Yung hindi ka naman, yun, diba? Like, that reflects. That's why there was this study that says that one of the most attractive trait to a person is your level of self-care. Pag tinignan ka na parang, inaalagaan niya yung sarili niya. Attractive. Hindi niya malang inaalagaan yung sarili niya. Walang self-respect, walang, alam mo yun. So, bumababa siya sa desirability.
For me kasi, if you don't take care of yourself, how are you supposed to take care of us, of me when I need it, of children, the family, yung ganun ba? Parang it goes beyond that.
Totoo. Yeah.
So kaya nabanggit ni Miss V kanina yun sa politiko.
Grabe naman kayo.
Napapasok ko talaga. Okay lang naman. Ang ibig lang sabihin nun, bakit daw beauty queen biglang hindi conventionally attractive yung guy?
Hindi yung nag-apply yung matching hypothesis.
Dapat kasi Mr. Universe din, if you think about it.
Diba? But that's not the way that it goes.
How it works.
Diba? That's not how it works.
Meron naman din.
Na parang,
may ganon.
Look at Pia Wurtzbach and
diba? Kaya meron din hindi ganon.
Matching hypothesis, same level of attractiveness.
Yes. Jeremy Johnsey.
Okay, wag na kayong mag-name nung sa opposite side, yung parang beauty queen.
Wag na. Pero maraming exhibit yun. Maraming exhibits. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes,
very lawyer of you. Exhibit A.
Right. And it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just that the strength that they have something to offer is not in the physical, but something else, somewhere else.
Beauty and status.
Yes, beauty and status, and that's the usual
Nabanggit
match.
kasi ni Miss V kanina, status, status, leadership, at saka self-care. Wala kang binanggit about abs. Wala kang binanggit about...
Nasa self-care yun.
Yes,
nag-gym ka. Yung posture mo,
Hindi kasi ipinapasok ko lang yung ipinapasok ko yung kanina yung politiko Siyempre, wala number 3, 1 and 2 lang.
Na 1 and 2 lang. Yeah. Pero makikita mo yung self-care nila siguro sa quality standards of life nila, sa nakatira, ano yung kinakain, diba? And all that stuff. So
pinipilit ko bumabalik pinipilit ko talaga para ma-highlight. Pero anyway, yun lang, that's what I'm trying to say lang naman.
Yes.
Parang women, mas holistic sila kumpara sa guys na more on talagang visual.
Yes.
Real talk yun.
Correct. So for women, importante sa amin yung hindi lang siya ready for us, but also ready din siya in the future. So for men, you don't have to be rich right now, but you have to show that you are promising. You're a good potential.
Yun. gusto ko lang to kasing i-point out kasi sa mga viewers nating mga single guys dyan. Alam naman natin sa sarili natin kung pogi tayo o hindi. Sinasabi ko yan. Alam na ng lalaki yun.
Basta yung yung realistic kasi marami namang...
Oo. Maraming mga lalaki, hindi tayo dilulu.
Yes.
Alam natin kung pogi tayo o hindi. Ang point ko lang, kahit na hindi ka pogi kapatid, may chance kang makahanap ng type mo talaga.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because that's not...
Kahit sinapani ko, naipasok ko.
Ang galing mo doon. Because we're not looking for, that's not our primarily motivation to look for pogi. No, there's a lot of other reasons that are more important than women, to women.
Except these
two. Kasi pogi ng mga partners.
Yes.
But there are like a lot of subconscious thing na they also count. But you know what? Kahit sabihin natin pogi yung partner mo, pero kung lampayatot sila, would you still want your boyfriends like that? Like lampa-lampa? Like not strong, weaker than you, can't decide.
Loser.
Nagkataon lang kasi yung medyo loser.
Medyo loose.
I've met really good-looking guys who are just so weak of character.
What do you mean? Weak of
example,
character?
how can you tell that a man is weak in character?
Yan.
They like to bring other people down.
Is
one clear sign.
Okay.
That's one clear sign. Like they have so much
Okay.
to say about other people.
Okay.
Mas marites than girls.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that they can make
Feel
themselves look good.
May insecurity, you mean? Medyo.
Yes.
Everyone has insecurities.
Yeah.
But for it to come out in a negative way is something else. Because that speaks about your character.
Yan.
Kasi I have days when I feel insecure.
Okay.
Na parang, oh my God, I don't like the way I
Kaya
look.
di ka mag-talk na ibang
But I'm
tao.
not gonna, So parang that's one example. Another example is they don't have any ambition in life.
Isa pa yun.
Where
Status.
it's
Status,
which is very different from being content, 'di ba?
Okay.
Parang it's good to be content with your life and be happy. Pero yung parang nakikita mo na yan lang. Okay na lang. You're not even going to try. Parang wag na, dude.
Yeah.
Like you see them obviously just depending on the way they look and then that's it.
Shallow is the word. Medyo shallow.
Din. Shallow and parang they don't want to do anything else beyond that.
Right.
Alright.
Or like parang other things like just like you can tell yung baho ng personality nila. It's just like
Turn off.
yeah, no matter how good looking someone is, not just for guys even for girls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh dude, because like the personality always shines through in the end. Because at first you see them, they're good looking.
Yes.
But the moment you get to know them, that's all you see.
Yes.
So that's the middle of falling in love and staying in love. Because there's this psychologist, Raj Persod. Sabi niya, whatever relationship you have, you go through 3 stages.
Okay.
You attract,
Okay.
you keep interest, and you maintain. So this is dating, this is relationship.
Okay.
So there are people who are so good in attracting people because they're attractive.
Okay.
But sablay when it comes to building a relationship because they don't have relationship skills. Pangit yung ugali, hindi marunong to make the person feel good, no?
Okay.
So magaling sila dito.
So, attract.
Pero,
Pero yun lang.
pero sablay sila dito.
Keeping interest.
Kasi
Na-turn
pag,
off.
pag nalaman mo na yung ugali, because that's how you keep
Okay.
your character, di ba?
Okay.
And then here, dito mo naman makikita yung whether that's friendship, whether that's romantic relationship, this is where the work comes in. Na sabi nila, it's a cycle. Even if you're in a 1-year relationship or 8-year relationship, you go through that same process wherein you continue to attract them, dapat.
Okay.
You continue to keep their interest and you continue to maintain that relationship. Because without attraction, a lot of marriages also fall apart. Without being interested already, pag feeling mo wala nang something na bago sa partner mo, you also lose that romance. So nawawala. So in order to keep a happy, healthy relationship, you have to revolve around these phases according to that psychologist.
One of the things that I really want to reiterate is parang when, di ba, todo ligaw, ganyan.
Yes.
Galing manligaw.
Best foot forward.
Love bombing.
Tapos, when you're together na, all the effort stops.
Yeah.
Kasi kami na eh.
That's
no!
when it feels.
So,
Nabudol.
diba?
Yeah.
So, parang,
Na love bomb ka, basically,
Nababam
budol.
ka, nabudol. Na parang, dude, the work doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
Like, they fell in love with you because
You did this.
you were doing these things. And then you stop.
That means
Okay.
you were faking it to get a foot in the door.
Yes, that's a bad type
And
of
then now you
manipulation.
feel overwhelmed because your partner is expecting the same effort that you invested at the beginning. Well, that's not fair for you, the partner as well.
Yes,
right?
yes. Kasi it's like you fooled them.
Yeah.
Diba? Na parang, but you said this is how you are.
This is
But
who
it
you
isn't.
are.
Diba?
That's why we'd always say dating is a lifestyle. If you take your girlfriend out on a date once, twice a week, you gotta make sure that you could keep it up for the rest of your life.
Lifestyle. I like that.
Yes.
Dating is a lifestyle.
Yeah. When, parang was this last weekend or something? Or, yeah, it was one of the recent weekends. On the weekend, on the weekdays after that, Matt and I went out for dinner, and then
Getting to know pa lang din to.
no, this was last week,
last week.
or
Okay.
last week or 2 weeks
Okay,
ago,
okay.
something like that. We went out for dinner during the weekdays,
Okay.
and I was like, yeah, let's have a date night. He goes, yeah, because we didn't see each other over the weekend. Because I had a family thing, he had like a work thing, so we weren't
Okay.
together Saturday, Sunday. So just him saying that made me feel really good. Because it's like reassurance na parang he understands the importance of having date nights,
Yes.
even if medyo
Together na.
matagal na
Yeah,
kami.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's good in the maintenance part. Remember the threes?
Yes, he's very good at that.
Shout out po sa boyfriend.
Swear to God, I don't stop talking
You
about
should
it.
listen to
Every
the
episode. Binabanggit niya lagi si Matt.
You should
Bro.
have clips of
What's up?
those praises and like have a collection of that
Yeah.
in your para like, oh, you wanna get to know me? Listen to my girlfriend talk about it.
diba?
And
Diba?
you'll know some of my best qualities.
Yeah.
Which is but that's one of the reasons probably why Matt is in love with her, because she showers him
words of
with a lot of
affirmation
words of
ka.
affirmation.
Yes.
She's very smart
Oo nga,
and
no,
clever at
sinashoutout
the
mo nga
same
lagi.
time.
Words of
Yeah.
affirmation.
And I always like when a lot of guys say that bihira sila makakuha ng compliments.
Which is true.
I can't believe that
Me
because
also.
Oh, bihira.
I'm a
Ikaw,
compliment
ikaw.
showerer.
You talk to us about it. Where do you get compliments? When and from whom?
Sa comment section. si
Hindi
si
influencer like you, di ba?
Si Aryn yun. Si Aryn nagsabi.
Siya lang pala
Si Aryn
yung
sinasabi.
Sis, so bihira talaga.
Pero bihira.
me, oh my God. Ako at
Bihira.
every corner, I look at Matt, he's dressing up. Like, I have a collection. I'm sorry, baby. I'm going to say it now. I have a collection of photos of you.
Ayan.
Just like
Just medyo-
random stuff. And
Medyo
I'm
ano
just
to.
like, I'm like, oh my God, you look so cute.
May
Do you
gigil.
do that too? Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. Yes.
Habang nag-gym.
Oo.
tingnan mo.
Tapos pag nag-gym siya, walang shame talagang, yes! Go! Faster! Galing! Ganon.
But yeah, I'm very, I'm a compliment. I'm always like,
Ano ka nga?
yeah,
Communicative ka.
Yeah. I'm always like,
Expressive.
babe, you look
Yeah,
so good in those jeans.
Yeah.
Like even sa glasses. The glasses bring out the color of your eyes. I love that. Yung mga ganon, just simple. But these are honest things that I think. And I say it because I it's very true for me. Yun.
Yeah.
Ano eh? Si Miss Angie Estrada Altizen. Married for 17 years now. We're not a typical couple. Would compliment each other
Opposite
every
naman to.
day. Or go on dates alone on certain occasions. Because we usually feel guilty just thinking about experiencing something. Tama, iba na. Iba
Kasi
na to.
married life na.
Something special without our
Yes.
kids. I think what makes our relationship stronger as time goes is by treating each other as best friends. Nagkwentuhan kami every time weekend kung ano nangyari sa araw namin, chismis, anything and everything under the sun.
I like that.
Okay, so ano sila, quality time ba yung ano nila? Words of, ang love language nila?
Mukhang.
Yes, quality time, and I think they're fulfilling yung bids for connection by checking on each other, di ba?
Yes.
Like, chismis, how was your day, anything and everything under the sun.
Yeah.
Because it's good. Because this is a totally different, it's not dating kasi may kids na, no? So as parents, you feel like, oh, parang instead na mag-date tayo, expensive restaurant, let's just go on a family date. But they do recognize the importance of spending time with each other by checking on each other every day. So it's basically dating
Miss
without
V,
the fancy stuff.
Ganyan pala, pag married with kids na, tuloy-tuloy pa yung parang
Absolutely. Remember
communication mo with them, with your
Yes.
matchmake mo before.
Oh, when our
Oh, yeah, do you get
couples
updates?
Yeah,
Yun.
so our couples that we match, and again, Philippines is a new industry, so hindi pa common yung mga matchmaking and
Okay.
stuff. A lot of them are very discreet about it, saying na they're not gonna be open na, we've met through a matchmaker.
Okay.
Sometimes they say, through common friend.
Yeah,
Tapos
yeah,
yung friend nila ako.
Okay.
Ganon. And even on weddings, sometimes we get invited, sometimes we don't. Kasi the moment na makita mo si Coach V,
Alam
kaya
na.
pala siya nandito sa wedding niya, di ba?
Yeah.
But we are we're very thankful for those who doesn't add to the stigma. Na let's normalize it. I mean, basically, it's like having a common friend. Nagkataon lang yung common friend mo is the matchmaking service.
Okay.
So when they're already married, we basically let them run their own relationship.
Okay.
Some of them, pag naghiwalay, they go back to us. But some of them also, we continue to like guide.
Okay.
Kasi magkaiba ang dating coaching sa relationship coaching.
Counseling na ata.
Yeah, I would not say that, I would not call myself a relationship coach because our specialization is dating, you know?
Okay.
Like getting that, building rapport in first few seconds, keeping that interest, learning how to make each other fall in love and stuff. But when it comes to relationship, I would highly recommend working with totoo yun, counselors, therapists, marriage, kumbaga family coaches because it's a totally set of different skills. It's a totally different ball game.
Okay.
Yes. But we are here to share resource and experts, pero I personally do not dabble a lot on relationship.
Okay.
Kasi iba kapag may kids
Children.
na.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, lalo na pag may kids.
Lalo na pag may kids, right?
But I think that you should still keep like these fundamental things that you do while you're
During
dating.
Actually, yan ang
Yes.
next kong sasabihin. Sige.
Go.
Iyan na tayo.
Sige na. Okay na.
Sige. Tell us a little bit.
Hindi. Ang point ko lang,
Okay.
kasi parang sa kanya may kids na, parang nag-iba yung dynamic eh. Dati tayong dalawa lang, so okay tayo, matagal na tayong together. Pero paano pag may bata na, baka magbago na yung dynamic.
Magbabago talaga
May
yan.
budget restrictions, may time restrictions na kasi.
Yeah.
So it evolves, but it's not exactly.
Even yung love language kasi, baka iba na rin.
Are you, natatakot ka ba na baka mag-iba?
Hindi, yun ang tanong.
Getting to the meat.
Yun ang tanong ko kasi, like, bawa, pag nagkaanak na, paano magbabago ba yung paano ba?
Yes.
How do we stay in love?
Okay.
Di ba kasi nakalagay dito, 7-year each.
Yes.
Paano yung meet with kids?
Okay.
Yes.
Madali yung 7-year each eh. Naka-8.
Oo.
Diba? Madali yung kasi magjowa pa din naman kayo. Paano yung may anak na?
Yeah.
Tapos, siyempre, yun na yung priority natin, anak. So,
Yes.
how, bro?
I
Diba?
saw somewhere in
Yeah.
one of the Facebook comments that we received that their secret to keeping their marriage with kids going strong is that they put their spouse first before their kids. And I think we
talked about this in the previous episode.
Yeah, I touched upon this before. Na parang you're not gonna make your kid feel like they're below their mom or their dad.
Okay.
But it's more of like a for each other, an understanding for each other that you are my priority and our kids are our priority together.
Okay.
Yes.
Parang ganun.
So, pag sinabing first priority ang spouse, what does that mean?
What does it look like for you?
What does it look like?
Yes.
For me,
Yeah.
so, okay, for example, Matt and I get married, have kids.
Okay.
What does it mean to prioritize Matt? It means that, for example, if our firstborn child asks me if they can go out with their friends and I say no,
Okay.
and they try to ask Matt to get a different answer, dapat same answer kami. What did your mom say?
That's
okay.
right.
Okay.
Then it's a no.
She's right.
Okay.
Dapat ganon. So, walang division in terms of like these decisions.
Okay.
So, parang for me, when you put your spouse first, it means that as parents, you recognize that you are one entity parenting your child. But in your marriage, you are two individual people working together. And that's a whole separate thing.
Okay.
Marriage is separate from parenthood.
Yes.
Parang ganon.
And another example, yung nangyayari splitting when, for example, we're married tapos we have our child, si Inka. Tapos, nagkakaroon ng, yung nagpapakampi sometimes sa mommy.
Yes.
Yung parang, you have to choose between, sinong kakampihan ko, yung asawa ko or yung anak ko.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
So, you should never go go for like, tapos you demonize your partner.
Oh.
You should like go
Yes.
for, let's decide, and then dapat yun, tama yung sabi mo, dapat solid front kayo lagi sa harap ng bata.
Okay.
And there are research studies that say that when the mom and dad is happier in their marriage and love life, the kids tend to be happier. So
Okay.
totoo yun.
It's a healthier childhood.
Prioritize your spouse more than your child.
Okay.
That makes sense. And I never understood that before because as my mom was a single mom so it was always me first. And you know that has its pros definitely. But because I grew up with that,
Okay.
I never understood the put your spouse first as a concept.
Wait, di ba, only child? Tama ba? ako?
Only child.
Oh, yeah.
So yun pa. Yung
Okay.
single
Yeah.
child. Single.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang ganyan talaga yung bond namin.
Yeah.
So when my stepdad came in, that concept was alien to me na
Okay.
reunited front because it was always me and my mom.
I get
That's
it.
So, but did that relationship with your mom and the stepdad work?
They're still
Solid-
together.
solid
yes,
naman.
yes.
Okay.
Solid naman because they're really best friends also.
This is
So,
this is a
that's nice.
different landscape because we're talking about a stepdad.
Yes.
It's not like the diba? So it's hard probably sometimes for your mom kasi yung anak ko or stepdad. So yung default ng mom niya, this is blood and
Okay.
diba? Genetics. So she'd always go to
Yes,
you and defer to
yes.
you.
Okay.
But I think for step parents in general, I think the mom should really side with the
Yes.
kid, and then the step parent should
Understand.
Yes.
Yes, that
Kasi
you will be the
addition sila.
second priority.
not
not the
addition
first.
sila. Pero pag talaga yung first marriage, the parents of the I think that's how I feel it.
Yeah.
Yun nga. That's why I felt like that worked for me because that's how I grew up, which is why this is an interesting conversation for me to listen to.
How do you
na.
feel about it?
I agree with it. I definitely
May step
agree with it.
siblings ka na?
I
Or
have
half. Half.
I have 17
Half? Both sides?
siblings, just one side. So
Half
I'm the
father
only one
side?
on my mom's. And I have
17.
basta more than 15. I don't know all of them.
Maraming kids yung dad
Dati niya.
Yeah.
Dati niya.
17-year-old.
Oh no.
Hindi.
17 kids, my love.
Yes.
kids.
Ang sipag ng daddy mo. Grabe.
Correct.
Dito go.
And it's really interesting to see because there was a time that I had to go to that side of the family for a wake. Okay. And then I
namatay?
saw a girl, very dark skin, but with my face and curly dark hair. And I was like, that is definitely a half sibling of mine. But I
On your
didn't get
dad's
to
side.
talk to her.
On your dad's
Yes.
side.
But really, like my face, I was like, wow.
Different complexion.
Different complexion, different hair.
Okay.
I need a
But
photo.
so interesting. I don't know her. I never met her. She was just around. So
Yeah.
it's interesting lang.
I'd love to share something like very personal, but very quickly. But it gives you an insight on what we teach, which is the science of attraction. There was this. I was in Singapore and I was training people in Singapore.
Okay.
And there was this part wherein I had to ask questions. So what I did is, among all men and women, I picked the most attractive person. Of course, I
Okay.
didn't say it, but in my head, like I picked that person. In my eyes, he was the most attractive.
Okay.
And then nag-recite siya and whatever. And then after the class, he went to me and asked, like, have I met you before? And then gumanon ako. Pagtingin ko sa kanya, tapos, oh my gosh, bigla kong nakita yung mukha ko sa kanya.
Wow.
Interesting.
And you know what? And it's funny because that person is actually my half brother that I didn't know. And that gives you an insight that based on science, we are biased towards attractiveness. We tend to find people who look like us attractive. Kaya minsan you choose a partner na kamukha mo.
Dude, sometimes they post a photo and I'm like,
Magkamukha kami.
we had that, the four of us had photos,
Yes.
diba? Where
Grabe.
each of us, like in that couple photo, because we have friends, me, Aryn, and then Mitch and Joelle.
Grabe.
And all of us are coupled. And 4 of us sent in a couple photo where we felt like we looked like the other.
Right.
And it was wild.
It was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. You
So
tend
there
to
are
choose.
2 reasons for that.
Okay.
Pumipili ka ng somebody who's, and there are scientific studies about this, na pinipili natin yung hawig natin because we have personals. There's
Okay.
human beings are
Preference.
natural narcissistic.
Preference.
We find ourselves attractive. And so when we see ourselves in others, we tend to validate that and find them attractive. That's one. For other couples naman na hindi magkamukha at the beginning when they were dating. And then nung tumagal na sila, nagiging magkamukha na sila.
Sinasabi din yun.
Yes, because of this. And there's a reason behind this. Because when you spend so much time with your partner, di ba? When
Yan si Matt,
yeah,
look.
shout out, bro.
medyo magkakamukha na nga sila.
Yeah.
Di ba?
That's
Wait,
so
sino yung-
funny. Si Joel and Leonard. Di ba magkamukha?
Grabe sila.
Yeah.
Ay, yun nga,
they're
akala ko magkapatid eh.
Diba? And there's a reason with
Yeah.
that. Hindi man sila magkamukha at the beginning. They tend to nagiging magkamukha because when you and I spend so much time together, the smile that we do, nagiging kapareho na our expressions tend to adapt to each other. So it's not really magkamukha, but the expressions becomes one because we
na-explain na
spend
ngayon.
so much
Yeah.
time together. That's the science behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so
Kaya,
interesting.
ayan, tingnan nyo, mukha kayong parang, di ba may sa internet, merong couples or siblings?
Yes!
That's so funny because, yeah.
Oh my
So look at
gosh.
your partner because your partner is a reflection of
Okay.
you, ladies and gents.
I love it.
Yes.
So let me ask you this question. When you
Okay.
look at your partner, would you feel proud that you are their partner?
Oh, yes.
Or does it feel like an upgrade or a downgrade for you? Oh, yeah. Let's start with you.
Sa akin. Ako,
Yeah.
sa akin,
Does she feel
nag-upgrade
like
ako.
an upgrade? Oh.
Nag-upgrade ako, why? Kasi, hindi ako magiging lawyer kung hindi ko na-meet. Alam ko makikick out ako nun eh. Kasi sinasabi ko nga sa kila Inka, 20 sections kami magi-start, 6 lang kaming matatapos. Kung hindi ko na-meet yung magiging asawa ko ngayon, makikick out ako.
So what are you trying to say? You really like her because she's very bright. She's intelligent.
Intelligent. And yung ano ko kasi, yung physical, hindi na type ko eh.
Okay.
Na maputi, na
petite.
petite.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
pasok yung physical, tapos na-impress ka pa, feeling mo mas matalino sa'yo. Did you have that kind of sense?
Mas matalino. Hindi, mas matalino, summa cum laude eh.
Oh, so it
So,
was
mas
an
matalino
upgrade talaga.
Upgrade talaga. Ako, tambay lang eh.
Ayan. So how about you? Do you feel like your partner is an upgrade or a downgrade for you? Why?
Upgrade.
Abs. Joke.
Abs.
Okay. Yeah. Fitness discipline.
Okay.
Actually, yes. It's
Yeah.
the fitness. It's the
It's a
discipline.
discipline.
to
It's
be
not
that
about the
kind.
abs alone.
Yeah.
Correct?
Which is what you said last time.
Yes. And
Saka,
hindi ako mahilig sa gwapo dati. So this is definitely an upgrade.
All right. How about you? Upgrade or downgrade?
Definitely an upgrade.
Okay.
Like, I cannot stop looking into his eyes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Ano,
Or talking about him.
Or
Yes.
I can't stop
Yes.
talking about it. It's funny
Right.
because one of the things that people first know about me when they
Yes.
first meet me is that I am taken.
Because you tell the world about
Sinasabi
it.
Because I am always
Tell the
like
proud
I'm
about
so
this
proud
love.
that I am
It was an
with
upgrade.
him that I feel like sometimes it gets a little much for him in a sense because he's a very
Shy.
private guy. He's kind
Okay.
of shy.
Yeah.
He's not very
Reserved.
He's very reserved.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
He's proud of me. Like every
Yeah.
post that I have, his Facebook is just full of shares of my posts.
Oh.
That's it. Like
All right.
share.
Yeah.
And
So
he
it-
likes all of my stuff. Yung ganun. And he comments. Ganun. Basta,
He's an upgrade for you.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Right.
So that brings us yung importance ng self-improvement and self-growth for singles because we're not gonna go for somebody who's a downgrade. We tend to look for somebody who's gonna be an upgrade, an
Yeah.
additional value in our life. And so when you go do self-care and self-improvement, that just increases your chance of being chosen and being more
Yeah.
desirable in the dating
kasi
field.
makaka-add to ng something sa...
Yes, because you
okay.
have something to add. You're an added value. You're not a liability. Nobody wants to be with a liability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diba?
So, added value.
Nabibigyan ako. May mga legal
Upgrades.
basis ngayon yung mga stuff. No? Like yung
Go ahead.
naging magkamukha ang magjowa.
Scientific. Not legal. You're the master on
Hindi,
the
hindi ako
legal
master.
one.
May scientific basis.
Scientific basis.
So sometimes sabi natin, ano yan, stereotype, stigma. Sabi lang yan ni Lola and Lolo, but sometimes when
That's
you do
true.
your research, you understand why
Yeah.
there's such thing. So
Alright.
isn't it amazing?
It is.
And they say love is no longer, I mean, even the scientists, they still think that there's still a lot of mystery behind love. But when it comes to dating, you can figure it out. You could study it.
Yes.
You could learn it. Yeah.
Diba? So, yan mga guys.
And girls.
Girls.
And girls. Yes.
So, ako sa guys, yung mga torpe dyan.
Kaya
Kailangan
niya
work
yan.
sa sarili mo muna.
Yes. Kasi one of the reasons why you're torpe is probably because you were not exposed enough to women. So
Okay.
your nervous system reacts when you're in front of an opposite gender kasi hindi ka sanay. But if you go out
What if feeling ko pangit ako? Kaya ako torpe. May ganun din eh.
Sabi nga nila, wala nang pangit ngayon, only lazy people.
Yes.
Because with all the
Ayun.
advancement, if you
Okay, yun.
wake up every day to do your career, do your games, do your whatever, why can't you wake up every day to go at least 30 minutes sa gym? Magbuhat ka lang, weights,
Yeah.
di ba? I love the weights and I recommend that for both men and women because not only that it tones your body but it also gives you self-respect. Kasi ganito,
Ano naman yun?
nagbuhat ako ng sobrang bigat sa gym tapos magpapaloko lang ako sa ganyan. Parang sayang yung in-effort ko sa sarili ko. So it
Tama yun.
increases your pride and
Self-worth.
self-worth as a man and a woman. So lift
I
weights,
agree.
guys.
I love it. I
Diba?
love it.
Okay.
Maganda yung
That makes more
today
sense.
yung conversation. It's not an interview actually.
Yeah.
Mas organic.
And we have here who's an example of like successful dating and like happy in your
Yes.
love life.
And not just successful dating. Actually, behind the scenes, before the cameras started rolling, the three of us surprised Coach V with the fact that she couldn't even like, what? No way. Which is, I was so surprised that women would be happy to date younger men.
Yes.
And that younger men would be happy to date older women. And ladies and gents, I am now in a room where all of these
Tatlo.
women and man had fallen in love
Yeah.
opposite to the usual trends, which
Yeah.
is yung babae picking an older man.
Yes.
Here we have younger
natin ulit yung
men
politiko.
with older women.
Joke lang.
My favorite part.
Ang galing.
My favorite
Diba?
part kanina was that you and I were talking about it, right? And then I revealed that, when
He was
it's
younger.
like he's younger than me. And you're like, oh my gosh, 6 years? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, this is not the
Yeah.
usual.
This is not the usual
Yeah,
because
hindi.
usually women would look for maturity
Yes.
in a man. So-
Yes.
and then you talk to me about your
Leadership.
boyfriend.
Which I have found
Yeah.
in a man younger than me.
Yeah.
And Miss V was like, wow, I wonder like who else, who other woman has done that. And then,
and then
this
she goes
girl-
like, and I was like, you
Ilan sa'yo?
too?
6 years din?
4.
4 years.
4
4
years.
years.
And then she was like, wow.
And then
I can't
maya-maya.
believe in the same room. I wonder who else in the same room.
And then
Ako
you said,
din. 4
yan
years.
din. 4 years older than yung girlfriend niya.
Yeah.
So look at that. Are we saying that maybe it's not yung old, yung
Chronological
the
age.
number.
yeah, it's like, or the usual like women going for older men. Maybe times are changing that
Yeah.
we are not looking at age anymore and we're looking at level of maturity and how they are in terms of self-improvement.
Yeah.
And most importantly, how you make a woman feel because you could
Yes.
be younger, but if you feel like a woman, like a lady, like man, these ladies
Yeah.
will go for you.
Yeah.
Very
Because
true.
we have met
Yes.
many and older men who are way more immature
Yes.
than a high schooler.
Correct.
Ganun ba?
Totoo. Meron.
How about
meron.
you and your experience? Diba? Why did you go for a younger man, which is not very typical for women?
Yeah, I actually dated men who were older than me. So I had a
was that
7-year gap,
experience?
17-year gap.
Damn.
And another 7 years.
I love it, 17.
Diba? I was very young then. So what I noticed that I don't like is because they were older, they felt the need to parang, if I went through an experience that they went through,
Okay.
they'll tell me how to do it. And I
Okay.
don't like being
They kinda
told
boss
what
you
to do.
Nilecturean ka?
Yes, and ayoko yun.
Mansplain ba tawag doon? Yung ba yun?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. But at that time din kasi, nung bata ako,
Okay.
I was taking in the information because, okay, yes, this person has more experience than me. But then I realized that, it's case-to-case basis. Why am I going to follow your instructions when I can experience things on my own?
And learn from.
Yeah. So I didn't like that. And then I noticed that with someone who's younger, it's not that I can tell them what to do. It's just that the communication lines are more open.
Okay.
We're both learning from each other.
Okay.
So I like that.
And one thing that's so interesting is instead of courting a younger woman, which a lot of men does, and sometimes they say they prefer it, then here you go getting married to a woman who's 4 years younger than you.
Older.
4 years older than you,
Looks
right?
younger.
Yeah.
But looks younger, probably because she
younger.
takes care of herself, right?
Yeah.
But for women who tries to parang darken their light, like they keep their intelligence, they keep being bright because you thought that men likes dumb girls. That's not that's not anymore true. You need to be an added value, but you need to just learn how to express like who you are and your intelligence and what you know best.
To be honest with you,
Interesting.
I needed structure and guidance before. Kasi malikot ako nung before that. That's why yun talagang binigay talaga din sa akin. Kailangan ko ng someone mature.
Yes.
So that I can also mature. Kasi I was immature talaga before.
And you've mentioned something interesting when you said like she gives you peace.
Yeah.
Like what do you mean by that?
Kasi peace of mind, no?
Peace
Kasi
of
like hindi mag-start ng away out of nowhere. Yun ang hinahanap ng
So
guys
stable
talaga.
siya emotionally. That's why you like her.
Like, di ba sabi nila, pag do merong period, medyo mainitin ang ulo.
Erratic
Hindi.
yung emotions.
Hindi din.
So very stable yung
Stable talaga. Yun ang kailangan mo, lalo na kung marami kang ginagawa sa...
Or I bet she is. Irritable siya.
Yeah.
She just
knows
doesn't
how
let
to
it out on
control
you.
it.
Diba?
Yeah.
Very smart, So ladies, I'm not saying that you go for younger men, but open your options.
Yes.
Because
yes.
love is possible in whatever age. Look
Sa
at these.
yung may potential, hindi kailangan na made agad.
Ay, tama.
Wag lang loser. Okay. Tatlo yan. Successful, may potential, at saka loser. Huwag kayo dun sa third ka.
Okay. Pwede ka dun sa made na or sa may potential.
Yes.
So show your na promising ka naman.
Yeah,
Yes.
promising athlete. Athlete. Okay. Yun lang yun.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
That's beautiful. And that's where the three of you is going against the conventions.
Yeah.
And you need to say it more often so that people will say that, it's normal.
So
It's
Yes.
normal to date younger or
Yeah.
older as long as when you fall in love, you fall in love.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, online dating, it's normal, guys. It's normal because I also know people that don't like saying, no, we didn't.
Diba?
we don't-
Why
don't
deny
tell
that,
them.
my
What-
love?
Si Joelle, I love what she did.
What did she do? Oh,
Diba?
yeah.
Kasi
Bumble ba sila?
Yes.
They've met
Sino
in
yun?
Bumble.
Our friend,
Ay,
si
okay.
Joelle, met
Who
her
met
husband
on
through
the app.
Bumble.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah.
Bumble was there at their wedding.
Yeah.
Like, it
Oh,
was
wow.
Bumble themed.
yes.
Ang cute.
Okay.
Sobrang cute.
I wonder
sobrang
if they
cute.
got sponsored
Yes.
during the...
Hindi ba na?
Yes, that's smart. Instead of you kind of hiding the truth behind your, whether through
be
dating
honest.
apps or through
Yeah.
us, like
Matchmaker.
offline
Yeah.
matchmaking service, like be proud because that's what the universe had planned for you to
Yeah.
meet.
Would you
Maganda yun,
sponsor?
actually.
Be proud.
Would you sponsor a wedding?
When we've sponsored previous weddings in terms of like hosting services o kaya naman helping with like other stuff in their
Okay.
wedding to make it more. But like what I'm saying is like honor the truth
Yeah.
because that's
Correct.
your story. You're not gonna omit that in your storybook and tell your child na we met through your tito and tita. Yeah, because that's not your story. Honor your roots.
Authenticity.
Di kasi gusto ng iba yung medyo pa Prince Charming siguro na story.
Yeah.
Baka
Yung meet cute. Yung
Yeah.
parang nagkabungguan
Jolina,
sa
Marvin.
bookstore.
Nalaglag yung libro, tapos sa
Ayan
pagtaas,
nga.
magkahawak na sila
Sa
ng
slow
kamay.
motion.
Yeah.
Kahawak ng kamay.
Yeah. Di kayo nanood ng Jolina Marvin.
No, I'm
Nalaglag
sorry.
yung books ni Jolina nung pagtaas nila ni Marvin. Kinukuha ni Marvin yung book. Pagtaas magka-holding hands na
Did you do
sila.
that?
Hindi syempre. Kami sa slow school kami.
Okay.
May books naman doon
Tama na. Pero hindi. Sa kami, religious.
Yeah. Part bit of the Filipino culture kasi yun, yung may pagka-hopeless romantic.
Yun, that's the word.
Gusto organic. If that's not naman your fate to meet, it's still organic when you think about it. Nagkaroon lang meron kang third party. Diba? When you look at studies, third party provider. Third party provider. Thank you for that. Okay. So, basically, di ba, parang when you look at studies, paano mo nahahanap yung partner mo? Ang number one right now is common friends. 10 years from now, it's gonna be through dating apps. Alright? Right now, common friends. So, it's basically, para ka lang may common friend na nagpakilala sa'yo.
Common friend.
Up lang yan.
Okay. How'd you meet? Common friend? How did you meet? Common friend?
Hindi, DM.
DMs, also social media. Kayo yung part ng generation. Kayo? School, which is also part, diba? It's either school or church, right? But watch out, like 10 years from now, my gosh, many of the relationships will come from
your
online.
Circles. Yeah. That's what I like. Like if it's always common friends, then malamang, kilala ko yung ex nito or something because you all know each other. But if you open yourself up to experiences like dating apps or websites, then you can meet people of different walks of life. Malay mo, yun yung para sa'yo.
Taga Mindanao pala.
Diba?
Diba? Love is love. And there are people that I know that don't want to meet their date through common friends. There are people naman that I know that prefers to meet people through common friends because there's a trust and familiarity factor.
May referral.
Parang, sure ka, hindi ako lulukohin nito, hindi ako i-ghost nito kasi may common friend kayo, mas matatakot yan gumawa.
Hindi, pero totoo yun. Ako kahit common friend
Ay, ginaghost mo.
Oo, hindi ko type
Okay, buti na lang you're off the market next week.
Hindi ako okay naman ako.
As someone
wala na masyadong mag-ghost.
Totoo. Dapat wala na. As someone who is going off the market next week, officially, to wrap things up.
Advice.
I want to hear, give it to the VOPs, no?
Okay.
Yung advice mo on how you felt like, maybe, how you felt like you made your dating succeed and how you plan to make your marriage successful.
Good question. Pang pageant. Pero ito, ang gusto ko, pag maghahanap kayo ng partner niyo, personally lang, maghanap kayo ng goal-oriented din. May pangarap siya na sarili niya, may pangarap ka na sarili mo.
Now, what did you do to make sure that you're a good,
kasi ganito dati talaga, laro-laro lang, fun lang ako. Nung na-meet ko siya, ang guys, mag-seryoso yan, magiging mature. Hindi mo kailangan pilitin. Mag-mature yan voluntarily kung feel niya ikaw na yun.
Kapag mahal ka.
Pag mahal ka, ikaw na pala yung mapapakasalan ko. Magmamature na ako, mag-step up ng game. Before, ang iniisip ko lang nun, kung hindi mukha ngayon, dati ko ka-gym din ang ginagawa. Hindi man mukha ngayon.
Mukha naman.
Hindi talaga.
Hindi kasi naka-shorts.
Hindi kasi. Dati po kayo lang ang ginagawa ko.
So nag-focus ka sa self-improvement mo before dumating yung partner mo.
Tapos nung nag-partner, parang may iba dapat. Dapat maging provider ako na maayos. Nag-iba.
Nag-iba yung mindset, nag-level up.
Kailangan maging lawyer ako. And so on, hindi pwedeng happy-happy lang.
Yes,
and so on and so forth. So yan, ang una kung lalaki ka, Brad, no? Ang suggestion ko sa'yo, mag-date ka lang na mag-date. Okay. Ngayon, malalaman mo agad, simula pa lang, kung sino ipapakasalan mo o hindi. Hindi kailangan 1 taon, kapatid. 1, 2, 3 months, alam mo lang kung ito ipapasiseryosohin mo, sure yun.
And there's a truth behind it because according to science, it only takes like 147 days to know if they're marriage materials.
Pero mo, 5 months.
You're right.
So yun, ang point ko. Alam mo agad yun.
How'd you know that was 5 months? That was so fast.
Oo nga
Ang bilis ng mga calculation.
Hindi naman.
1 year.
Less than mga 4 months in 27.
Yes.
Anyway.
You will have a good grasp already if they have the potential that you're looking for to be your wife.
So sa akin,
husband.
as a guy, mga kapatid, sa pakikibaka, i-develop niyo sarili niyo. Magi kayong, tawag doon, eligible na partner. Other than that, alam niyo na agad kung sino yung papakasalan niyo agad. Yes. Alam niyo agad yun. Kung babae naman kayo, wag kayong maging, the girlfriend ko, first and last po akong boyfriend.
Ayun.
So yan.
Wow. Interesting.
Sa content kasi, quantity, dapat marami kang content. Pero sa love life, hindi kailangan na marami.
Pero hindi masama.
Hindi masama. Siyempre. Hindi na masama. Hindi naman.
Balance.
Ang point ko lang, pag nahanap mo na sa isa at feel mo yun na yun, wag okay na.
Don't dabble and don't waste that potential opportunity.
Yes, yun ang point ko.
Okay.
Ito na pala, one and done ako. Okay yun.
Yes.
Yun ang point ko. Pero maging patient kayo kasi talaga ang lalaki naman, liligawan kayo kung suitable kayong may ganun babae, ligawin. May ganun.
Oo, totoo.
Ligawin.
Totoo.
May mga ganun babae, ligawin siya.
My friends call that girl pila girl.
Yun, may
white
abangers
pila.
lagi.
Yes.
Yes.
Ibig sabihin, she's a girl with a pila.
Yeah, hindi necessarily yung napakaganda, hindi ganun
Yeah,
Meron
that's
talagang
true.
pilahin.
Totoo.
Diba may bago akong word ngayon. May pilahin talaga na nasa ugali, guys.
Totoo.
Nasa vibe. Sabi nga nung isa ko
Yes.
pinanood, the vibe is not giving. Pag giving yung vibe mo, minapanood ako by the way
I
yung...
love this.
Ayun.
Yeah.
If the vibe is giving, di ka problema sa love life mo. Ikaw ang mamimili.
Absolutely.
So,
That's
ayun.
true. You have options
So
to
ako
choose
yan
from.
guys, yun ang opinion ko lang. Ngayon, pag na-meet nyo na yung someone, magseryoso kayo, do not cheat. Have self-respect and control.
Yeah.
O akin, ikaw naman, may kontra ka sa akin. Ikaw naman.
Okay. Oh, sige, you're next.
Ano
You're next.
gagawin ko? Advice?
Yes.
Oh, but
Yes.
same question. So, what did you feel like what made
What
your
did you do
dating?
right?
Yeah, what did you do right in dating?
That led you to your partner.
Specifically with your current.
I am.
Yeah.
And how do you plan on making it successful long term?
Yun.
Okay. I took time to get to know myself.
Yun.
And that's what really made it better. Because I believe before my current boyfriend, I was a little bit of a serial dater. I liked
Serial.
dating so much.
Yes.
And then I'd get in a relationship.
Serial
When I would break
killer.
up, date. There was never really a time for me to just be alone. In fact, for me, and I know this is a privileged take, the pandemic was beneficial for me to be alone with myself and really get to know myself and do things
Okay.
that I love. And once I was able to find that, my market found me. He found me.
Ayan.
And the DM.
So pilahin ka.
Ay, walang pumila nun. Walang nakapila nun. I was basically by myself lang and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I think that was it. Like sitting with myself, knowing myself, what do I like, and doing the things that I love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because once I learned to love myself, that's when
Okay.
the cutie boys came in.
Quality.
Quality
Yun.
cuties.
Yun.
Quality
Yes.
cuties.
Hindi loser.
Hindi loser.
Okay.
How about you, Inka?
How about you?
For me, I feel I would agree with you when you say you have to work on yourself. Because when I was with my ex of 11 years, parang I feel like my entire world revolved around this person because he was
Okay.
my first and I thought that he
Last.
would be it.
The last,
Kasi,
yes.
Ang tagal. And so what
Yeah.
ended up happening was a little bit of that, I would dim my glow because I wanted them to be happy. I didn't, parang anytime I learned about an insecurity, I would do my best to adjust.
Yeah.
And it ended up adjusting so much of myself that by the end of it, I wasn't even complete as a person anymore.
Okay.
It wasn't you anymore.
And so, again, being alone and finding yourself was a big benefit because I knew exactly who I was going into this relationship that I have
okay.
now. I knew what I wanted,
Okay.
so I could clearly communicate that. I knew what I didn't like, so I
Okay.
could clearly communicate that. I knew what I didn't want to sacrifice.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
knew what I could compromise.
Non-negotiables. Yung
Yeah,
ganun.
I knew my non-negotiables. I knew the parts of me that I could compromise because compromise is so important if you want to build a long-term relationship. I knew what it meant to be accommodating but not sacrificing parts of myself.
Okay.
And I knew that I needed to go into this authentic from the beginning because you still need to be more or less the same kind of person you were when you were
Yeah.
dating because that's the person your partner fell in love with.
Yeah.
And if you want this to last a long time, you, of course, will change through
Yeah.
the years.
Yep.
Diba? That's
For sure.
normal.
Yeah.
But you need to, your core essence of who you are, that's not going to change. That's already you. Lalo na if you are past 25 and your prefrontal cortex is already completely formed.
Developed.
Okay.
Diba? So, knowing who I was made it easier for me to stay authentic.
Yeah.
And I feel like being true to that, no matter how much of me can change as I grow older, as I discover new parts of myself, as I shed parts of myself behind that no
Yes.
longer serve me, I know that I know my core.
Okay.
And coming into a relationship authentically allows the other person to come in authentically as well.
Yeah.
Because they can see that you're doing it.
Right.
And so that it gives them the security to do the same thing.
Okay.
I feel. If you have a receptive partner, this is given if you have a receptive partner. Because if your partner is someone who will take advantage of that, that's not going to work. So basically, you just have to work on yourself and take a look at whatever you have control over.
Okay.
And then that's about the only thing you can do. Just try to be good, try to love them well, understand that you can never be free of mistakes, but it's all compromise, give and take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your Miss V, what's your advice to,
As our coach,
as our
expert for today.
dating expert?
Yeah, first I'd like to thank all of you for
Thank
having
you
me
po.
here.
Yes,
Amazing.
thank you.
The energy is great and I love that you're so open about your learnings from your relationships, knowing that you're practicing it in your relationships right now. I'd also like to thank everybody who's watching. You are listening to the right show because it's not just entertainment, but also there's a lot of substance that's going on in here. Running my company, Singles Events Manila, for 11 years.
Okay.
We have this joke in our company na sinasabi namin na unang tingin pa lang namin sa single, we already have an idea whether they're dateable or not.
Okay.
Because for 11 years and we organize singles event like right now weekly, makikita mo agad what type of singles yung nilalapitan. People that gravitates, the single person that people gravitates towards to, and yung iniwasan. And the commonality, the common ground of, and the characteristics of people that a lot of singles like to gravitate towards is a person that embodies emotional availability. And that's based on science. Sabi nila, if you want to be attractive, you have to show emotional availability. You could be the most beautiful, most handsome person in the world, pero kapag hindi ka emotionally available, hindi ka liligawan, hindi ka lalapitan. What does that look like? Emotionally available person are people who are friendly and open to have relationships. Hindi yung parang feeling ko ang ganda-ganda ko, ang gwapo-gwapo ko, ang successful ko, hindi ako makikipagkaibigan. I feel like I'm up there and they're here. You know? So people who are attractive are those who are friendly and smiling and just giving the positive vibes. Hindi pa di yung toxic, especially kapag single ka, because you will remain single if you're like that. So embody emotional availability by practicing open body language, smiling, making friends, approaching people. Yung sinasabi nilang talo ng malandi ang maganda, there is a truth behind it. Because a malandi person is emotionally available. Kahit hindi nila type yung person.
And receptive.
They would make the person feel as if you're the most wonderful, attractive person in the world. So learn that skill, not in an inauthentic way, but like find the best parts of the person that you're talking to. And then when the person feels good, they're also likely to like you back and fall in love with you for people who are single. So be emotionally available.
Emotionally available.
Yes.
Emotionally available. I love that.
Yes.
I love our talk today.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ms. V, for joining us. Would you like to tell our VOPs where they can find you?
Yes. For singles who are out there, singles, professionals, improving yourself and doing well in your careers, do join us in Singles Events Manila. We are connecting people who are like you, people who are focused on self-improvement and at the same time is emotionally available, open to finding love. For people who want to be more focused and really values their time, reach out to me at Dating Coach V on Instagram because we do matchmaking service. We are your legwork when it comes to finding people and we help you filter people, diba? So that you could focus in your career and we'll help you find the love that you deserve as well. So reach out to us, Singles Events Manila and Dating Coach V online.
There you have it. Thank you, Coach V, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you to our VOPs who sent in their comments. We received so many. Grabe. We're sorry that we weren't able to go through all of them, but for those who were featured today, thank you so much for your experience. And we hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Don't forget to find all of us on our socials. You can find me everywhere. It's INKAMAGNAYE.
And for me, I'm Aryn King, ARYNKINGKING.
Attorney Anselmo.
Bye, guys.
Okay.